Dj Pro No Power Tutorial. I'm DJ Spiegel Spin, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to perform a great DJ set without having to plug your iPad into anything and just using battery power. The reason why I love DJ Pro so much is because it gives us so much more flexibility and accessibility than other DJ apps. So this also gives us more opportunities to do different types of gigs in different types of places, and we could expand and make more money by doing gigs that other DJs aren't willing to do, or it would be too hard with their equipment. So there's many scenarios where we'd be DJing and there's no place to plug into power. So a couple of examples of this would be a party on a boat. It's summertime right now where I am, and a lot of people are going out on the boats in Miami, stuff like that. And a lot of times they have a DJ there, so you could DJ with DJ Pro on a boat, and you don't need to be plugged into power. Now, the iPad Pro, the one that I use, it says that it has about 8 to 10 hours of battery life while being used. And I'm not sure if it's that high, but I know you can get at least 5 to 6 good hours of DJing with just your iPad without having to charge it at all, as long as you start on a full charge. And now there are a bunch of controllers for the iPad and DJ Pro that do not require any power at all. They are powered through the iPad, and this one, DJ to go to touch, is one of them. You just plug it into the iPad using USB-C adapter, and you don't need to have it plugged into the wall or anything like that, and you could DJ for as long as your iPad will last. And yes, it will, because there are LED lights and it is using some power from the iPad, it will drain the battery a little bit more, but not very significantly from what I have seen. I've been able to DJ with this setup, with this iPad and this controller, for well over 5 hours and not have any issues at all. Now, another thing you could do to ensure that you don't run out of power is you could get one of those battery power banks that meant to charge your phone on the go or charge your iPad on the go. They make some really good ones. I'll try to leave a link down below of some that I recommend, and this could help you out getting a couple more hours of power when you need it. Also, another thing you could do is, if your iPad is going to die soon and you have a fully charged phone, the DJ Pro app for iPhone is a very advanced, very good app, even if you're just using your phone. So have your phone ready for a backup. Or another thing you could do is, if you have an older iPad or a different iPad, you could have that on standby, and when one iPad starts getting low, you could switch them out. But now that we have the DJ software on the iPad, and we have a couple choices of controllers that don't need to be powered. Now, what do we do about speakers? See, back here I got the bump box. This is a 140 watt boom box. It's awesome, and the battery, they say it lasts about 22 hours. So with this setup right here, with the iPad, the DJ to go to touch, and this speaker, we could be DJing all night without having to plug the phone in anywhere. So you guys could go and try to get gigs, maybe go to the boat marina and see if there's any boat parties going out, and if they would want to DJ, you could get booked for one of those. Or maybe at a restaurant, maybe the outdoor area, there's an area where you could set up your stuff and there's really nowhere to plug in, and you don't want to run extension cords and all this. You could just say, I'm going to come with my speakers, my iPad, and my controller, and do a DJ performance from, let's say, 5 to 9, and you pay me X amount of dollars. Now, this is a very good way to get gigs that other DJs wouldn't be doing, because now it's so much easier for you to set up, because you don't need to be connected to any type of power. So there's a couple of things that are important if you're DJing and you're not using any type of power, and that is, you're going to want to keep your screen brightness low, and this could be a little bit difficulty, especially if you're doing one of these outdoor gigs where you can't really see the screen to begin with because it's very bright outside. So keep that in mind. Also, use your imagination and think of what type of place would be good to have a DJ there that they currently don't. So good example is when I was younger, like 5-6 years ago, we we would throw rave parties, and so we'd have a rave party in the middle of the woods. And the years before, they would bring gas powered generators and all this stuff for all this crazy equipment. But I had my Samsung Expedition speakers, which lasted about 12 hours, and then my iPad and a controller. And although it was before a lot of people were into DJing with DJ Pro, I was the one with the controller and the iPad, and everyone was DJing with the DJ Pro software, and we were using Spotify, and it was really fun to be able to DJ and not have to worry about anything being plugged in. Now that we're free from wires, not only do we get the advantages of not having to have a power supply and the freedom of DJing without having any outlets or any generators or any type of power nearby, but now we are free to leave the DJ booth because all we need is our iPad. I've made a lot of videos on how to DJ using just Bluetooth, and yeah, you have to adjust your mixing style a little bit. You can't really do as much scratching or as much sampling or even manual beat matching, but you could still do very smooth transitions using different types of transitions and just be DJing with your iPad in your hand. So this will give you the opportunity to play more DJ games such as scavenger hunts, and you could conduct line dances, and you could actually be on the dance floor with them doing the line dances with them while holding your iPad and still controlling the music and still being able to choose the next song and stuff like that, but you don't need to be chained into a DJ booth. So this is very good if you're doing parties on the boat, like I said, or on very small areas where it's really not practical to set up a DJ booth, even if you're able to DJ with no power. There might be a situation where there's really no DJ booth, but they still want to have a DJ there doing a DJ performance, and they might be willing to pay you even more if you could DJ in such a tight area where you don't need a DJ booth. So some places like small restaurants, bars, coffee houses, and stuff like that might just want to have the live music element, but not really have a DJ there doing DJ stuff. So you could be providing the music, providing the entertainment without being plugged into anything. And also you could do music videos too, but with the music videos, you're going to need to have your iPad connected to an HDMI cable. Like this adapter has HDMI capability. So don't think of just doing gigs with DJ Pro as going there, setting up a DJ booth, and being the main DJ. You could also think out of the box and just consider yourself there for the entertainment. You could do these DJ games, or you could just have music playing on your iPad, specific music that you picked out for the crowd that you're choosing, and you don't need to have a huge DJ booth. So if you guys like learning about new ways to use DJ Pro, learning how to free yourself from all the wires and all the stress of traditional DJing, and just learning what's new with DJing on the iPad and with DJ Pro, you can subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. I make DJ videos every single day, and I try to get back to any of the questions that you guys ask me. So if there's anything that I left out or anything regarding DJ Pro and DJing with the iPad that you have a question about, just let me know in the comments, and I try to get back to every single question that I do know the answer to. So just let me know down below if you guys have any questions, and also stay tuned. I'm making DJ videos every single day, and there's going to be new videos about new exciting topics. And thank you guys so much for the support.